Daddy.
Hi, Aiden. Do you have a shirt?
No shirt.
Oh, what about Spider-Man's shirt?
No. No. What's that?
That's a game.
It's a game.
Let's see.
I hope.
No.
Huh? Okay.
Not, Johnny.
No.
Johnny.
No.
The lion and
for enjoyment throughout the world.
the unicorn.
Roma Wines presents Suspense.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tonight, Roma Wines bring you Mr. Gregory Peck as star of The Lonely Road, a suspense play produced, edited, and directed for Roma Wines by William Spear. Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, is presented for your enjoyment by Roma Wines. That's R-O-M-A, Roma Wines.
Alexa,
Those excellent California wines
play
that can add
YouTube.
so much pleasantness to the way you live, to your happiness and entertaining gifts, to your enjoyment of everyday meals. Yes, right now a glassful would be very pleasant, as Roma Wines bring you Gregory Peck in a remarkable tale of suspense.
Well, hello, Gare. How goes it?
Oh, not bad. You want a statement, I suppose?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Well, tell me first, is she apt to get the extreme penalty?
Well, that'll depend a lot upon what you have to say.
I see. Well, I'll give it to you straight. I'm counting on you to do your best for her.
Sure. Now, go ahead, shoot.
The first time I saw Jenny, she was coming along the road carrying a suitcase. I knew she was headed for our place because it's the only house for miles around there. I was trimming the hedge, and I got as far as the rear gate when she reached me. I waited for her to speak.
Is this the Gare place?
That's right. What can I do for you?
You had an ad in the paper for a girl to do general housework.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, come along into the house. My wife will want to have a talk with you.
This is a beautiful place you've got here, Mr. Gare. But it's certainly hard to get to.
You've walked from the highway?
Yeah. Must have been almost 5 miles. The sun is something fierce. I almost gave up. Don't any buses run along here?
No, we're pretty isolated. If there's help in the house, I always manage to give them a lift in town.
That makes it nice, Mr. Gare.
What's your name?
Jenny.
Jenny what?
Jenny, old dear.
Jenny? Yes, please. And Mrs. Spears is trying so hard of hearing, so you'll have to speak up a bit. Oh, Helen, this is Jenny. She's come in answer to our advertisement.
Oh, yes. I'm very glad to see you, Jenny.
She was extraordinary. Not beautiful or pretty. Striking, I guess, would be the word. She had heavy black braids wound about her head. Her eyes were a clear green and looked straight through you. She was lean and powerful, like a young animal, a leopard or a panther or something. Well, my wife engaged Jenny. That night she cooked an excellent dinner and served it well. She had on a purple skirt and a cerise, I guess you'd call it, blouse, and I could see Helen eye it with disfavor. Every time the girl came close to me, I could feel the strength of her. And those green eyes watched us as if she was sizing us up. We took our coffee and cigarettes out on the veranda after dinner. You can look right over the orange grove to the hills. It's nice.
Steve, what do you think about Jenny?
Oh, well, it's a little early to judge. Seems capable enough. That was a darn good dinner, if you ask me. Maybe we're in luck, darling.
Maybe. What is she, do you think? Mexican?
No, I say Slavic with that build and shape of face. A little more coffee, Helen. Have a cup.
You're probably right. There's a sort of, gypsy, arrogant boldness about her that makes me uneasy, as if I'd had something to cope with.
went up to bed early. I was pretty exhausted every night with all the physical work I had to do. I turned out the light, and for some reason stepped over to the window. Jenny's room was downstairs on the same side of the house as ours in the rear. Her light was still on. She was getting ready for bed, and her shadow, huge and black, lay across the lawn. Her arms were raised to take down those heavy braids. There was something actually classic about the thing. The picture of it stayed in my mind long after I got into bed. Well, 2 or 3 days went by, and Jenny, the thing was, you were conscious of her all the time. Wherever she was about the house, whatever she was doing, you thought about her. I was working in the garage one afternoon when she came out there with the butcher knife.
Mrs. Gare says you have a whetstone out here. Can I get you to sharpen my knife for me, Mr. Gare?
Of course, just a moment.
What's that you're doing?
Oh, I'm trying to mend this old bear trap.
Oh, are you a trapper, Mr. Gare?
Oh, no, hardly. There's a coyote around that's been stealing the chickens. I'm hoping to catch it. There. Now, let's have the knife.
What do you do, Mr. Gare?
Well, Jenny, Mrs. Gare was a concert pianist at the time of our marriage. I was a manager. Now I take care of her property. Holding investments, you know.
Any signs for, like
It's a rainbow.
and things?
Oh, but Jenny, yes, that's part of it.
Pretty soft for you.
Now, Lord.
Mr. Gare?
Oh, on the contrary, it's quite a job. Keeps me busy.
I still say you've got a pretty setup. But she didn't get such a bad deal herself. She's crazy in love with you. Anybody can see that. Why not? You're good looking, Mr. Gare. And young. You must be at least 12 years younger than she is.
Let's share the chair.
Now, here's your knife, Jenny. Careful
We've
now.
got a
Like
chair to
lady.
Thanks a
spare.
lot. That's the way I like it. I can't stand a dull
Where's
night.
Mommy?
Mommy's on the couch.
I'll probably bother you often.
A few more days went by. I finished my trap and set it out near the chicken run, hoping I'd catch my thief. And one night after dinner, we were in the living room. What's the matter, Helen?
She was standing there in the dining room door and listening.
Jenny? Well, she probably likes music. What's the
Oh,
problem?
isn't that? She's always listening and watching. It's beginning to get on my nerves.
How about her work?
She's worked hard enough. She's willing, clean as a pin. But I have a feeling she doesn't respect me, that I just don't fit here in her scheme of things. She's just simply taken the place over. I don't even run my own house anymore.
Well, fire or why don't you?
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Say the word and I'll do it for you.
No, I don't want you to. Steve, frankly, I'd be afraid to tell her to go. She might get ugly and set fire to the house.
Oh, I never heard such nonsense in my life. What is she, Helen? Aren't you well?
I'm just terribly nervous, Steve. Maybe that's why she takes advantage.
Well, that settled that. I felt like a heel, though, because I was relieved that Helen didn't want to fire Jenny. I was obliged to admit to myself that the girl was getting under my skin. Any little service she had to perform for me, she made very special, standing as close as she dared. I could feel the magnetism of her strong, perfect body. Her hair smelled like new apples, and those clear, green eyes would linger caressingly in mine. Then after about 2 weeks, one night, it must have been 1 or 2 o'clock.
Hey, wake up.
What's the matter?
That girl. I think she's out there in the hallway. I think she's been in this room.
Oh,
I'm frightened, Steve. Please make a light.
all right. No one around. Helen, you must have been dreaming.
Perhaps I was. I dream about her often, Steve. Horrid, confused kind of dreams. I'm trying to scream for help and can't. It's just...
Good Lord, Helen, I never thought anybody could get you down. You've got to control yourself somehow. This is just plain silly.
Yes.
I turned out the light and got back into bed. In a little while, I could hear Helen's even breathing and knew she was asleep. I lay there, thinking. About Jenny, of course. I never thought of much else. In a moment, I heard the piano. So faint, I thought I was imagining it. And it came again. Weird. Ghost-based. I got up again, put on my robe, and slipped downstairs. The living room was dark except for the moonlight pouring through the window. And Jenny's figure, black against the light, was moving towards me. Almost before I knew it, she pressed close against me, crushing her mouth to mine. It was like being stung. Sharp, sweet, terrible. Jenny, what is this?
Don't kid me. You knew this was coming. That it had to come, that nothing could keep us apart. Now, everything's going to be all right.
But Jenny, we can't. Helen, there's no...
We can't let her stand in our way.
What do you mean?
It won't be hard. Just a matter of figuring the best way.
I don't know what you mean, Jenny. We can't stay here talking like this any longer.
It'll be just you and me, Steve. And all that money. Think what we can do with it. Just think.
Are you crazy?
Crazy for you. Just like you are for me. Listen, inside of 5 or 6 years, you're going to be stuck with a death row wound. What you going to do? Sit here and grow old with her? Not you. Sooner or later, you'll clear up. But what enough now? With me.
That's so simple as you make it sound, my dear.
All you have to do is to spread around town that Helen's going to visit her folks, Mississippi or something, and leave her to me. After, you can say your wife's decided to stay down there, that you're going to sell out and join us. Then we can turn everything into cash and we're on our way. Easy?
The next few days I worked outside so my hands bled, and my whole body shrieked with pain. To keep from thinking, I began having nightmares. I'd wake up in a cold sweat and lie there longing for daylight, swearing that as soon as morning came, I'd throw that girl out of the house. But she'd brush against me, or touch my hand, and I'd be wild for her again. I guess I knew then that sooner or later I'd agree to nearly anything she asked.
For suspense, Roma Wines are bringing you as star Gregory Peck in The Lonely Road by Marion Orr. Roma Wines' presentation tonight in radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense. Between the acts of Suspense, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wines. Today is the first day of spring, a welcome time everywhere, but especially at Roma. For in Roma's carefully kept vineyards, located in California's choicest wine-growing districts, the precious vines are already stirring with renewed life. The eternal miracle of soil and sun is now creating the luscious goodness of tender grapes that Roma's master vintners patiently, unhurriedly, guide to tempting, mellow wine perfection for you. If you've never enjoyed fine Roma California wines, you'll be delighted to discover Roma can offer you so much taste luxury for so little. Yes, Roma is America's first choice in wine, for every occasion, every day. Yet, you can enjoy fine Roma wine for just pennies a glass, about the cost of a soft drink. And all Roma wines are bottled at the winery to bring you sealed in, unvarying goodness always. So, for praise-winning hospitality, or for happy family evenings at home, serve Roma Sherry, Port, Muscatel, or Tokay. insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wines. Discover why more Americans enjoy Roma than any other wine.
And now Roma Wines brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Gregory Peck, who as Stephen Gare in The Lonely Road continues a narrative well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Helen began to get on my nerves. It seemed that every day she looked older, washed out, became bitter. I began to despise her, to want her out of my way, out of Jenny's in my way. One morning at breakfast, Jenny stood there looking at me.
Well, Jenny, what is it? You're going to town today, Mr. Gare. I've written down some things for the house.
Very well, Jenny. If your list ready, give it to me. I'll be leaving in a few minutes. I knew what she meant. She was getting impatient. A reply, which she waited for with those green eyes fixed on mine, was virtually a consent to her plan. Because to me, I wasn't sure what I meant to do, but I thought it would do no harm, at least, to set the ball rolling. In town, I dropped into the garage and asked the mechanic to look the car over. I said Mrs. Gare was planning a trip to visit her family in Mississippi, that I'd have to drive her into Tucson to take the train, and that my tires weren't so good. After that, I stopped at the realty office.
Really, Mr. Gare, you're thinking of selling that beautiful place of yours?
Oh, it's just a possibility. I don't want any prospective buyers about the place as yet. But my wife is planning a trip south, and I may follow her and remain there permanently. Help such a problem. Takes a lot of handling. So I get fed up after a while.
Well, there'd be no difficulty disposing of the property, Mr. Gare. Well, just let me know when you're ready. Meanwhile, I won't bother you with people.
I drove home in a sort of trance. I wasn't shocked at what I'd done, and the thing was still wide open if I wanted to back out. When I got home, I didn't want to go into the house. So far, I'd had no luck with the coyote, so I busied myself setting the trap in another spot. While I was doing this, Jenny came out with that butcher magazine, and we went into the garage. Helen was at the piano.
Did you do what I told you to do?
Yes.
Good. I can't stand it longer.
No, I can't. But I can't bear to be here when...
Kiss me, Steve. Don't worry. It'll be when you're out of the house.
She didn't say any more, just looked at me with a twisted little smile. I gave her the sharpened knife, and she kissed me and went into the house. At dinner that night, Helen...
I had words with Jenny today, Steve. I can't have her around any longer. You can fire her tonight if you will.
What? Oh, no, my dear. I offered to do it once and you wouldn't let me. Now you'll just have to do it yourself.
Steve, I'm afraid of her terribly.
Why, she been ugly, threatening?
Don't shout so, Steve. I'm not as deaf as all that. She'll hear you. No, she hasn't threatened me, nothing like that. There's just something about it that fills me with horror.
Oh, you're imagining things, Helen. What possible reason could she have for harming you?
I don't know, but this house has become a dreadful place. I'm cold all the time, and I'm shaky. And you seem different. You look at me sometimes as if you hate me.
Oh, see.
Don't try to reason with me. If she doesn't get out of this house quick, I'll lose my mind. She's like a witch or something malignant and evil.
Jenny came in just then to change the plates for the zips. As she bent over to take the powder, she held that knife in her hand in such a way that my blood ran cold. After she'd gone out.
You haven't noticed it, but lately I haven't taken a mouthful of food until I've seen you start to eat for fear she'll poison.
That's ridiculous. Why shouldn't she poison me as well?
Because she's crazy about you.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
And you're crazy about her. Don't deny it, Steve. I may be deaf, but I'm not blind.
Look, Harold. I'm going into town for a drive. If you want to fire Jenny while I'm gone, that's all right with me. try not to dwell on the immediate events, but to think about the time when I'd be free, to go away with Jenny. The drive into town seemed endless, but at last I pulled up in front of the hotel.
Good evening, Mr. Gear. That was the paper?
Yes, and a cigar, maybe, Fred. I looked around the little lobby. Wasn't a soul in there that I knew. I watched the people. 1 minute feeling sorry for them because their lives were so drab. The next envying them because they were so secure, simple. I was sitting there staring unseeingly at the local paper when I suddenly came out of this trance or a spell that I'd been under. The shock of realization was frightful. I didn't want anything to happen to Helen. I'd get home in time. I kept recalling similar instances of such crimes I'd read in newspapers. I'd always wondered how people could become involved in such things. Well, I knew all about it now. Weak fool to let a coarse creature like that lead me into such a thing. If only I could be in time. I'd throw that girl out and devote the rest of my life to making Helen happy. Helen, generous, loving, intelligent, and talented. Why hadn't I thought of all this before? Then I saw the car. It was parked at the side of the highway right at my turnoff. I knew it was a police car. I cursed to myself and prayed. Don't let them take me. I've got to be in time for Helen. Please. An officer stepped out into the road and waved his flash. Please. Please.
Hello.
What's up, officer?
Oh, looking for a stolen car, but not a baby like that one.
A local car, was it?
Yeah. Say, you better let me have a look at your operator's card, my friend. You must have been doing about 80 along that stretch.
Oh, sure. Here you are, officer. I'm sorry I was overdoing it. I was just in town, and I guess I stayed longer than I intended. My wife's alone in the house and not very well, and I was in a hurry to get home.
You live down this road?
That's right.
Say, maybe that car could have got down in there. I think I'll...
No. I mean, I would have seen it.
Okay, Mr. Gare. Just take me, please.
Certainly will, officer. Thanks. Good night. I stood there in the doorway, looking up. There was a light upstairs in the window of my bedroom. It threw a radiance on the screen door and burned with a steady glow, as if it had been burning like that for ages. As if it had witnessed a scene of horror and brooded over it, keeping the secret to itself. When I started climbing to the house, my legs were so stiff I could scarcely walk. I stayed off the gravel, walking on the grass, and went in the back door. There wasn't a sound. I tiptoed through the kitchen, through the dining room, across the hall. Then I could see the light from that lamp spilling down the stairway at the far end of the dark living room. My heart thumped so loud I could hear it. I wanted to call out, but I didn't dare. Whom would I call? Perhaps everything was all right. Perhaps Helen was up there in bed. How I prayed she was. I hesitated on the threshold, thought of glancing into Jenny's room, but that would have looked queer. If nothing had happened. I stepped over the threshold. Ow! It was that trap, that bear trap somebody had placed up there, ready for me. Whew. It was excruciating. I wrenched and pulled at the thing. Helen! Jenny, somebody! Someone give me a hand. Oh! Oh! Who is it? Oh, help me! I'll be hurt. bottom of the stairs and snapped on the light. I've never seen anything in my life. There was blood all over the place. On the wallpaper, the white paint. Then I saw Jenny lying on the floor in a crumpled heap, her long braids soaking in Helen's dress. Her hands and face were spattered with it. Her hair was disheveled, her eyes like pinpoints of fire. Against her side, I could see the gleam of that long, sharp knife. She was coming slowly towards me. Oh, we were beautifully caught, Jenny and I. She with her knife, I with my trap. Helen, look like that. What's happened?
Planned this together. But it didn't turn out just as you thought it might.
Helen, please don't look at me like that.
Well, there she is. Look at her. If I hadn't been ready for her, I'd be lying in her place, and you'd be glad, wouldn't you, Steve?
No. Helen, you insane. Drop that knife for Helen. Listen to me. She came closer. I made a lunge for her. With the grip of that steel about my leg, I threw off balance and I fell forward. She sprang on me. I fought her off, but that knife came at me. Face, throat, everywhere like flashes of lightning. Helen, don't do this to me. I swear I came back. Ah! Helen, don't! No! That police car arrived in time to save my life. I wish they would have finished the job. Then and there.
Okay, thanks. I'll send the doc right in. And, Gare, I wouldn't worry too much about Helen. I think she'll be all right.
Suspense, presented by Roma Wine, R-O-M-A, made in California for enjoyment throughout the world. Before we hear again from Gregory Peck, the star of The Lonely Road, tonight's suspense play, this is Truman Bradley for Roma Wine. Here's how millions of American homemakers are relieving the monotony of meatless Lenten meals. They are adding zest and freshness to otherwise drab menus by serving a fine Roma table wine. Yes, Roma wine makes the difference between just eating and friendly, enjoyable dining. Try serving Roma California Sauterne with your favorite fish tomorrow. Discover how delicate, pale gold Roma Sauterne lends enchanting new charm and companionship to your table. How Roma's delightful fragrance and smooth, palatable goodness make dining more pleasureful. With baked beans or spaghetti, serve full-bodied, red Roma California Burgundy. They are perfect flavor mix. Tomorrow, Friday, make dinner a treat with Roma wine. Roma wine costs but pennies a glass. So little, everyone can enjoy them often. Insist on Roma, R-O-M-A, Roma wine. Made in California for enjoyment throughout the world.
This is Gregory Peck. Like everyone else here in the film colony, I've always admired suspense, and it's been very exciting to appear here tonight. I want to thank Maria Palmer, who appeared as Jenny, and Kathy Lewis, who enacted the role of Helen in tonight's play. Next Thursday on Suspense, a very famous character of crime fiction will make his debut on the air. That'll be Baynard Kendrick's remarkable blind detective, Captain Duncan McLean. And Brian Donlevy will play Captain McLean in a radio play built around one of the most ingenious and cunning murders I've ever heard about. I'll surely be listening, and I know you will want to listen next Thursday to Suspense.
Gregory Peck will soon be seen as star of The Yearling, produced by Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Next Thursday, same time, Roma Wines will bring you Mr. Brian Dunleavy as star of Suspense, radio's outstanding theater of thrills.
Produced by William Spear for the Roma Wine Company of Fresno, California. Suspense is broadcast from coast to coast and to our men and women of the Armed Forces overseas by shortwave and through the worldwide facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service.
so much for being here. Today, instead of the annual show, it's going to do a Alexa, knock knock.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Banana. Banana who? Banana found a botanical final letter. Banana.
Oh, and just so you know, this oh, and the plan for after the short preview video thing is 39 steps or so less.
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death. Is this a curse? Or some kind of punishment? I often think about the God who blessed us with this cryptic puzzle, and wonder if we'll ever have the chance to kill him.
Good luck, have fun.
This is Command. Your half squadron, come in. 2B here. All units have penetrated the stratosphere. Autopilot systems green across the board. This is Operator 6-0. All units confirmed. We've passed the 50-kilometer threshold and are proceeding toward the target. Understood. Once you reach their end... air defenses. Proceed to manual attack formation. Then destroy the Goliath-class unit by any means necessary, and gather what data you can. Understood.
12H down. All units activate manual mode and rely on visuals to advance.
Already engaged.
Sweetie, no matter what anybody says, I love you better than anybody.
Long-range lasers confirmed.
Oh, well.
Electric down. Our HO229 cameras are
Enemy unit sighted ahead.
Hi, baby. This is your last meeting.
requesting permission to escape.
Gather around me, you're sending out cards and a pair of commands. I've waited all day for you. So get comfortable. Lie at the pipe full of down the street, and this is everything but pretty close when you're there. What tomorrow will bring? Today I spent the whole day resting with a chair on the attention to the upholstery. It's a very slow process, and I'm not sure I'll do a very good job. Because I get lumps in the padding that goes on before the actual cloth, and I can't seem to tuck in all the little edges that must be put out of sight. Upholsteries at this moment are my biggest hero, and I wish I knew one who could help me finish this chair, so that it'll be done when you return. Not that it seems I just keep missing you all day long. Once I had a feeling you just walked by and I stopped doing your stand.
4B,
How else can I explain my heart suddenly beating a little faster and my hands shaking as I picked up?
2B to operator 6-0.
Was it just imagination, sweetie? Or wasn't there a touch of that familiar aroma?
Operator,
The aroma
2B.
of the
We need you to
wonderful
rendezvous with Unit 9S and
It could only be Bond Street. I couldn't miss that anyway. Bond Street tobacco was so mild and mellow, so good to smoke and to taste and to smell. A real man's tobacco to capture the heart of the girl you love. And that's me, baby. The girl who loves you for all the things that you are. Your wonderful laugh, the sound of your voice, and the touch of your hand. And yes, sweetie, tobacco. The Bond Street tobacco. They're all yours and I love them. Laugh, touch, both tobacco. So don't ever change, sweetie. Don't change your eyes or the look in your eyes or the Bond Street tobacco. For these are the things I love. Sweetie, this is certainly an angry, crazy world, isn't it? I've gotten so I hate to read the papers. But you know what I think it's doing to everybody? It's bringing about a kind of personal peace in the world. I've noticed neighbors who've been enemies suddenly becoming friends. And guys and gals who've been howling and filling crowds of sudden peace coming out. This is the time when we're engaging music. And there should be lots of forgiving and forgetting on the part of the people who really love one another. That's why I elected to record a film called Record, which I feel carries a definite message that's really important. Never let the sun set on a Friday. Now, when I know about it, and I'm there to say it shows you're a true detective. And you know what else is a sign of your good taste? The fact that you always have fun about everything. That also shows that you're particular about the tobacco. But maybe I'm crazy, but I just naturally expect you to like it. You're a fine person. Sweet Bond Street goes with you. Just like dreams go with the sun. Like kisses go with the moon. And like love goes with someone else. And why not? There is no finer tobacco than that. None richer, none more aromatic, none more pleasant, as smooth as smoke. In fact, there's no tobacco that you should smoke hot from. So smoke it for us, angel. I can enjoy its mild aroma too. Although you might say this has been an evening of much ado about nothing, but I've had fun and I hope you will. There's one thing for sure. I'll be here again tomorrow night thanks to Bond Street Tobacco with the same old. Meanwhile, take it easy. And remember that you're lonesome girl. Loves you better than anybody in the whole world. You know, such I wonder where I am home when my heart starts to sing. If you have love to say, lift to share, why don't you feel proud? Share them with your lonesome girl. Sweetie, no matter what anybody says, I love you better than anybody in the whole world.
beginning is a very delicate
Alexa,
time.
knock knock.
Know then that it is the year 10,191. The known universe is ruled by the Padishah Emperor Saddam IV, my father. In this time, the most precious substance in the universe is the spice melange. The spice extends life. The spice expands consciousness. The spice is vital to space travel. The Spacing Guild and its navigators, whom the spice has mutated over 4,000 years, use the orange spice gas, which gives them the ability to fold space. That is, travel to any part of the universe without moving. Oh yes, I forgot to tell you. The spice exists on only one planet in the entire universe. A desolate, dry planet with vast deserts. Hidden away within the rocks of these deserts are a people known as the Fremen, who have long held a prophecy that a man would come, the Messiah, who would lead them to true freedom. The planet is Arrakis, also known as June.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to the third book of the Harry Potter series, titled The Prisoner of Azkaban. Chapter 1. Alcoves. Harry Potter was a highly unusual boy in many ways. The one thing he needed for summer holidays more than any other time of the year. For another, he really wanted to do his homework, but was forced to do it in secret. And he also happened to be a wizard. It was nearly midnight, and he was lying on his stomach in bed, the blankets drawn right over his head like a tent, a flashlight in one hand and a large rubber-bound book, A History of Magic by Matilda Bagshot, propped open against the pillow. Harry moved the tip of his little feather skull down the page, frowning as he looked for something that would help him write his essay, which, burned in the 14th century, was completely pointless. Disgust. The quill paused at the top of a likely-looking paragraph. Harry pushed his round glasses up and moving his flashlight closer to the book and read. Near
Everything that lives is designed to end. We are perpetually trapped in a never-ending spiral of life and death.
Letter on the edge.
Begin by simply listening. Slow down. See just how blissful today can be.
The Madhouse Wells produces and directs the 19th broadcast of the Mercury Theatre series of dramatized great narratives. There have been a number of famous authors represented in the broadcast, but none so young as Ella St. Joseph. whose name many of us may be hearing for the first time tonight. The story is one which Mr. Wells has long considered, and he takes great pleasure in presenting A Passenger to Bali by Emma St. Joseph, one of the great short novels of recent years. The young author was born in 1911 and gathered material for A Passenger to Bali during a trip on the river in the Pacific. Though all the characters in the story are imaginary, the hurricane and certain other of the incidents actually took place. The freighter upon which unusual time. Like what? Oh, for one thing, Shanghai Port Police. Yes, I did. Not more than a minute back along to it by. Anything wrong, Captain? Oh, I'm certain of it. He's out of the harbor and under the Florida. Oh, what was in the room, Captain? Yes, there was some sort of trouble on the waterfront, I suspect. And the company was brewing and we had trouble getting our deckhands. Oh. Is that all, sir? I was worried for a minute. It's quite enough, Mr. Stagg. You can go right on being worried. No, I thought from the way the police looked, it might have something to do with us. What? Is it roundabout? Searching all right. Make sure that we don't clear this harbor. Letter on the air. On a freighter in the Pacific. Though all the characters in the story are imaginary, the hurricane and certain other of the incidents actually took place. The freighter upon which he traveled was making his last voyage, and his story carries the weight of first-hand experience. The Mercury Theater on the Air presents A Passenger to Bali, starring Orson Welles as Dr. Alvin Wolf. Joseph fell from my mind, my last lingering glimpse of warmth as I left him. A vision that appeared more than it did at the time. It was grown real in the 14 years that had passed. It was what some men call chance and others destiny that linked our lives from the dock at Shanghai and a life disrupted them 200 miles out at sea. I nearly accepted him as a passenger on the steamship roundabout, a French steamer flying the British flag, carrying a crew of 3 white officers and 20 Kanaka boys, which I owned and put to trade in the Southern Pacific.